Hey, good morning. Happy Monday, March 18th. So what's going on? Well, last week it was finally decided, and I have to say congratulations to the media. You did a wonderful job at making sure America only had two choices, Biden and Trump. Congratulations, media. Those are our choices. And we don't even have our Illinois primary yet, and we've got those choices. What about those people in California? Do they even get a choice like us? No, media, congratulations. Anyway, hey, in health insurance, did you see that United Healthcare is being investigated by the Department of Health after a huge cyber attack? We'll have to see where that leads us. And lastly, what if you take this and merge it with this? What do you get? You get that, a cargo ship with sails. Hey, every little bit helps. One guy on the internet put down, maybe those sails should be solar panels. We'll see, it's technology. Anyway, let's get to today's topic. So we're going to take some time and focus in on group health insurance here for a little bit. Did you know that about 50% of Americans get their health insurance from their employer? And when surveyed, about 22% of Americans say that they lost their health insurance because they lost their job. Well, Mark, what about the Affordable Care Act? Well, actually, the Affordable Care Act says this. An employer has to have health insurance available to its employees when they have 50 or more employees. It also, in various states, says that the employer or the insurance company has to insure 70% of those employees. That's an interesting figure, isn't it? What happens if you don't have 70%? Ooh. So, employer-based health insurance is typically medical insurance, but they offer other coverages like dental, life insurance, disability insurance, vision insurance, and they can offer it to dependent spouses and children and people who are the legal dependents of the primary employee. So you know all this, an employer might be pulling their hair out. How do I afford this? Well, it's definitely a business expense that has to be taken into consideration, and an employer might feel like they can't offer it, so therefore they can't afford to expand. Does that hurt the employer and hurt America? You can decide that one. Other things though is that since it is a business expense, it's tax deductible, the premium that's paid for the employees. But employees, if you have a good employer who can afford it, you can have a plan set up where your portion of your premium is done on a pre-tax basis. Wow, so there are some options there to help make this a little bit more affordable, aren't there? And we all know that in many, many cases, having health insurance can really increase the job satisfaction for the employee. And there's benefits associated with that. If an employee is happier, they're tending to stay longer with their employer, which means that there's lower costs associated with the hiring, the training of new employees. And employees, if you stay with your employer longer, you're more likely to have better retirement benefits, better job stability as you become more experienced with your employer. So, if you're looking for health insurance for your business, numbers at the bottom of the screen. Employees, if you're working for businesses that don't offer health insurance, once again, bottom of the screen, give us a call. We work really in the marketplaces that are 50 and under, so we're happy to work with you. Hey, what's going on at the MLD agency? Well, this past week, we helped a couple people transition from their group insurance to private insurance and also going really into Medicare. Other things that were going on is, took a class on money laundering. A couple months ago I took one on, and I think I mentioned it to you about the scams on telemarketing. That was the focus of that one. This one was called KYC, Know Your Clients. So it was focusing in that I grasped out of it. I now need to have identification in my system, especially if you're coming from the internet where I haven't had any contact with in the past. So for new people coming on, I may have to ask you for a copy of your driver's license or state ID. Sorry about that. It's the world we live in. The other thing is, I had to have a conversation with the Deputy Director for Department of Insurance, or a Deputy Director at Department of Insurance. If you want to know specifically, then give me a call and I'll tell you. But I won't do it on this platform. And it was about the fact that a telemarketer, I've been getting calls from some of you out there telling me that I've sold you stuff, and I didn't. I have no record of you. I didn't sell you stuff, so this had to be addressed. I was informed by the Department of Insurance that these people are not licensed, they're not registered here in the United States. Many of them are offshore, meaning they're out of the country. Don't do business with them, period. And the Department of Insurance is looking into it, but it's very hard for them to do it because they use bogus names and numbers. The bigger question is, why are the insurance companies accepting business this way? It's really very questionable. Think about that. Don't be too quick to be picking up the phone and answering these calls. Anyway, I hope you have a good week coming up, and until next week, take care.